In this video, we are going to learn about destructuring arrays. This is a very useful and advanced feature that allows us to extract elements from an array and assign them to variable in a concise and elegant way. By the end of this video, you will have a clear idea of what destructuring is and how it works and how we can use it in our code. So let's get started. First thing first, what is destructuring arrays? Destructuring array is a way of unpacking an array and taking out the elements that we need. We can think of it as opening a box of chocolates and picking the ones that we like. For example, we have an array of chocolates like this. Let chocolates is equal to, here the first one is dark, then milk, then white, caramel, and the last one we have is mint, like this. Now here we want to get the first, third, and the fifth chocolate. So we can use destructuring arrays to do that like this. So here we can write let, and then we are going to use our square brackets, and then after that we have our assignment operator, and then the name of the variable from which we want to extract our chocolates. So the name is chocolates. And now in the square brackets we can write first for our first chocolate. Then here we don't need the second chocolate, so that is why here we are leaving space by using these commas. And after this we need our third one, and fourth one we don't need, so here we are again using commas like this. And then we need our fifth chocolate like this. And now this syntax means that we are creating three variables, first, third, and fifth, and we are assigning them the values of this first, third, and this fifth element of this chocolate array. Now here the commas in between these variables indicates that we are skipping the elements that we don't want. And now to check the values of these three variables, I am going to log these values. So here console.log first, then this is to check the value of third, and this one is to check the value of our fifth. So if I hit save, now here the first variable is equal to dark, this third one is equal to white, which is the name of our third chocolate, and this fifth one is mint, and this is the last chocolate in our array. And now we can use these variables as we wish. This is much simpler and cleaner than using the traditional way of accessing array elements by their index like this. Now I am going to show you how we can do this same thing without using destructuring. So in order to do this, first we need to create a variable to store this first chocolate. So here let first is equal to, now to access the first element from this chocolate array, we need to write chocolates, then our square brackets, and here we have to specify the index, which is 0, like this. Now to get this third and fifth element from this chocolate array, we need to create two more variables. So here this one is third, and this is our fifth item. So the position of our third chocolate is 0, 1, and 2. So its position is 2. And now the position of our fifth chocolate is 4. And now you can see we have an error, which is because we already have first, third, and fifth variable. So here I am just commenting this. And now if we log the values of these three variables, first, third, and fifth, you can see we have the same result just like before. Now you can see this method is much simpler and cleaner than using the traditional way of accessing array elements. Here we are doing this same thing in just one line of code. But here, without destructuring, we need to write 3 lines of code to get this same result. Now let's see another example of how we can use destructuring arrays in our code. Let's suppose we have an array of numbers like this. So first I am commenting these lines. So here we have an array of numbers. Let numbers is equal to an array 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And now we want to swap the values of the first and the last element so that the array becomes numbers is equal to 5, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4 and 1. So basically we want to swap this one with this 5. So how we can do this? By using destructuring. Well, we can use this simple trick. Now here we don't use let or const keyword. We only write numbers at position 0, which is our first number, and then numbers at position 4, which is the last number of this array. And then we can write equal to, and after this again our square brackets, and in here we can write numbers at position 4 and then comma, after this numbers at position 0, like this. Now this syntax means that we are creating a temporary array on the right hand side with the values of the last and the first element of the numbers array. And then here on the left hand side we are assigning them to the first and the last element of this number array respectively. This way we are swapping the values of the two elements without using any extra variables or loops. This is much easier and faster than using the traditional way of swapping values, which we can do like this. Now here we need to store the value of the first number into a variable, and we can write let temp is equal to numbers at position 0. Now after this we need to write numbers at position 0 is equal to numbers at position 4. Now after this we need to write numbers at position 4 is equal to temp. Now here we are swapping these two elements without using destructuring, and in this line of code we are using destructuring to swap these two values. So here if we take a look on our numbers, you can see we have 5, 2, 3, 4 and 1. And if we comment this line of code, you can see now we have our array as it is. Now if we cut this log from here and if we paste this after swapping, so if I paste here, and you can see we have the same result that we get by using destructuring. So here we are writing just one line of code to swap these two values, and here we need to write 3 lines to do this same thing. So now we are going to take a look on real world use case of destructuring. Now destructuring arrays can be useful when we want to return multiple values from a function. For example, suppose we have a function that takes an array of numbers and returns the sum and the product of the numbers. Now without destructuring, we would have to return an array from the function, and then we can access the elements from the array by using the index notation. Now in order to show you, I am going to create a function. So here function with the name of sum and product. Now this function take an array of numbers, and then now after this we can write let sum is equal to 0 and let product is equal to 1. After this, we are going to loop through this number array. So here we are going to use our for loop for let number of numbers. Then here we can write sum plus equal to number. So this is to calculate the sum. Now for product, we can write product multiply equal to number. Now outside of this for loop, we can use our return keyword, then our square bracket to create an array which have the value of sum and product. Now here this function take a number array as an argument, and then this function return the sum and product of those numbers. Now here we are going to use this number array to check this function. Now here we can write let result is equal to sum and product, which is our function, and in here as an argument we are going to put this number array. So numbers like this. Now if we log the value of this result variable, you can see we have an array in which we have two values. First one is the sum of this number array, and this second value is the product. Now to access this sum and product value from this function without using destructuring, we can write let sum is equal to result at position 0. So this is our sum. Now to get the product, we need to write let product is equal to result at position 1. Now if we want to check, we can write here console.log sum and product, and here you can see we have the values of our sum and product in our console. Now let's see how we can do the same thing by using destructuring. Now here instead of writing result, we are going to destructure this array that we are getting in result of calling this function. So here we can write our square brackets. Then here we are getting two values. First one is our sum and second is our product. And now you can see we have the same result. And here we are using destructuring to get the values of our sum and product from this function. And now we can write console.log. Then by using our template literal, the sum of numbers is then placeholder, and here we can write sum, and the product of our numbers is then our placeholder, and here we have our product like this. And here you can see the sum of our number is 15 and the product of our number is 120. So destructuring arrays makes our code more readable and expressive, as we can clearly see what values are returned from our function and assigned to the variable. So in this video, we learned about destructuring arrays in JavaScript. We saw what destructuring array is, how it works, and how we can use it in our code. We also saw some examples of how destructuring arrays can make our code simpler and cleaner, and how we can use it in combination with template literals. Now in our next video, we are going to learn about object destructuring. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. So if you did, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.